His interviews were videotaped by the police.
Did you plan all along for Nisha to die? Nisha died on the pavement. You don't want to tell us what happened. Is there anything that you can say that would change our conclusion that you arranged with Roger Leslie to have your wife killed?
The man who had appealed for information only months earlier now refused to say a word.
You still haven't told us anything. And this is your final opportunity to tell us.
Fadi Nasri wasn't alone in his silence. Jason Jones also refused to talk.
Did Nisha come down the stairs whilst you were there? Did she already have the knife at that point?
No comment.
Or did you have the knife?
No comment.
On February the 28th, 9 months after the murder, Fadi Nasri joined Roger Leslie, Jason Jones and Tony Emanuel and was charged with Nisha's murder.
And in other news tonight, the husband of Special Constable Nisha Patel was today charged with her murder. Fadi Nasri, a limousine driver from Wembley, is believed to have...
A year later, the trial took place. In a packed courtroom, Fadi Nasri took the stand. But when confronted with the evidence, his claims of innocence fell apart.
He absolutely got torn to pieces because the facts and the evidence that were there, he couldn't provide a decent story. You could see the look on the people's faces in court. You know that there's no way out. There was no way out at all.
Fadi Nasri, the husband of policewoman Nisha Patel, was today found guilty of her murder. His co-accused, Roger Leslie and Jason Jones, were also convicted after a 4-month trial.
See you soon, yeah?
Tony Emanuel was acquitted of all charges, the jury believing his story that he knew nothing of the murder and had been hired simply as a driver. Roger Leslie and Jason Jones were sentenced to life imprisonment. Leslie to serve at least 18 years and Jones 20. Fadi Nasri received a life term with a 20-year minimum tariff.
We're pleased with today's verdicts. These 3 dangerous and callous men will be in prison for a very long time.
No sentence given to the murderers will ever replace Nisha, and its outcome will never compare with the suffering it's caused or the magnitude of our loss. I am still absolutely...
The family may have got justice, but their ordeal wasn't over. In the days following the convictions, it was Nisha, not Fadi, who made the headlines, and for all the wrong reasons. Based on her husband's former involvement with an escort agency, she was falsely accused of profiting from the vice trade.
We did investigate Nisha's background as a matter of procedure, and she wasn't involved in any criminality, and certainly wasn't involved in any of the things that she was accused of by the media.
The truth was more simple. 2 years before her death, Nisha had inappropriately used her police warrant card to help Fadi collect a debt owing to the agency.
The Metropolitan Police fully investigated the matter, and she was given a very stern warning that it should never happen again under any circumstances.
This single mistake was enough for some newspapers to sully her entire reputation.
She became a special constable to help and support the community from crime. And what's happening now is that her memory is just being trashed with lies.
She was dragged through the mud by the press. It was unfair. It leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth, really.
In reality, the real mistake Nisha made was to fall for the wrong man. She built a successful career, won the respect of her police colleagues and the love of her family. But in the end, it was the person she loved who betrayed her in the most brutal way possible.
Fadi Nasri was an evil man. He left his wife in that house to be murdered.
Fadi Nasri was a liar and a cheat who was prepared to have his wife killed for financial gain. And as a consequence, will spend the next 20 years of his life behind bars.
Nisha loved him. There's no words to describe that betrayal because she loved him so much. She loved him so much.